Hannah, and today I am here to discuss the first season of the Unsleeping City from Dimension 20. I just finished it because, sadly, as you know, I don't have a Dropout account right now. I'm planning on getting one for the new season, but right now I've been catching up with just what I can on the YouTube channel. And I have been a little bit behind just because, like, when I started, I was still watching Escape from the Bloodkeep, I think. So even though they were posting season 1 episodes on YouTube, I didn't start watching them until probably around Christmas, actually. I have to say, guys, one of my biggest concerns going into Unsleeping City, and I think why I put off watching it for so long, was that I just love the Fantasy High characters so much, and I loved them as their characters, that I really had a hard time picturing how I could now adjust and get used to them and love them as new characters, because I just love the Fantasy High characters so much. And I've never actually really had to deal with that before, because I watch Critical Role, but I've only really seen season 2 of Critical Role, so it's not like I saw them play 100 episodes of one character and then switch to another. So this was like the first time I was doing that, and I was just like, I don't know if I like it, you know, it feels weird. Happy to report, though, that I fell in love with these characters, and if possible, which I did not think it was, I think I love these characters even more than I love the Fantasy High characters. And that's not a diss to the Fantasy High characters, because I still love them so much. That just shows you how much I love Unsleeping City and how important these characters are to me. I think they were all just such, like, flawed but dynamic and amazing, beautiful people, and they all kind of brought their own different issues but different strengths to the table and to the game and to the story, and it really just made a beautiful storyline. I also think the whole premise of fighting like a tainted version of the American dream is just so amazing, and once again Brennan absolutely knocked it out of the park with his plotting and his storyline. It's so good, you know, like New York City is the city. Like, it's where, you know, all the people would have to immigrate from with Ellis Island in the 1900s, and it's where people go still to think of making it. Like, Hollywood's kind of come that way, but, like, I feel like New York is still the one that, like, people dream of coming there, because, like, you know, there's amazing schools, there's Broadway, there's SNL. I don't know why I picked SNL, but, like, there's just, like, a bunch of different things you can do, and it really is, like, the American dream. But with the way, like, capitalism works and everything like that, the American dream has kind of been tainted in a way, but then also the American dream, I think that people still uphold and want and see as, like, the what you should want is not necessarily what the American dream still is for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people, it's not the picket white fence with the 2 kids and the sedan, and that's, like, what Robert's American dream encapsulated at the end. So I think it shows that the dream has to change with its people, because if not for the people, there would be no dream. And I think that was just a really, really interesting, super cool, super awesome theme to the season. And even, like, the phylactery at the end, the whole thing to shut it down was you had to deny that greed is good. And I love when Cugrash was like, greed is good, but not in this city, New York, greatest city in the world. I just loved it so much, and I really didn't expect it to get as emotional as it did. I just think with, like, Cugrash, but then also, like, Kingston and his stuff with Liz, Pete and everything going on with him, Sophia obviously and her family, and everything that happened with Dale. Like, there's a lot of grief and there's a lot of change, and I think seeing how the characters evolved throughout these only 17 episodes was so amazing to me, because they made such big strides within themselves. And particularly, I love all the characters. Like, I don't even think I could pick a favorite, but Sophia for me is one that I think really resonated with, because I just think the whole idea that she went through of, like, no one can tell you that you're great except for you. Like, that's the one that matters. And, like, the whole scene when she goes up to the Empire State Building and she's looking for someone to pick her as the chosen one, and she's just, like, screaming, like, come on, like, do something. And she realizes that, like, she's the one that has to pick it, and Brennan's like, who's up at the Empire State Building? She's like, mother frickin' me. And it was just so amazing to see, you know, just that whole journey she went through of realizing, like, you don't need validation from other people. You don't need some kind of higher power to pick you. You have the ability to believe in yourself. And I think that was just so, the storytelling is just, oh my gosh, guys. It's amazing to me that it can go from like zany, like just outlandish stuff like the Santa stuff, and then really drive home with these points of like, I think one of my favorite scenes was when they each had to go to the American Dream, and the American Dream was offering them their dream in exchange for just stepping aside and letting the American Dream pass through, and they each denied it. And why I really like that is because I feel like they all had different reasons for denying it, and I think that showed the heart of their characters. I did a whole analysis on this because I was just like, I need to get this out. But like, Ricky denying it was selflessness, because he realized that when he was like, well, that's just my dream, like I shouldn't be the only one that gets a chance to have my dream come true. And then Sophia's was self-confidence, because she could get Dale back, but she was kind of like, you know what, no, I'm gonna be okay, he'll be there and I still have stuff to do, like I believe in myself. Ronan, my girl, I love her whole speech about like, my love for you have always been my love, you don't need to be real because you are real. And I just think was so amazing, and so about like self-love and just like teaching someone to believe in themselves and have that self-love. Cugrash's was obviously, I think, self-awareness, like because his dream was offering to take him back to like growing up with his kids and stuff like that, and he realized that that's a timeline that can never exist. Like he can't get the past back, and he can't change what he's done. He can only move forward and be a better man from there. And then last, Kingston's to me was self-acceptance of, you know, being okay with maybe he won't get the life he wanted with Liz and have a family with her, but he'll still be okay. That doesn't mean his life is a failure or that he's ruined something. Like, it's gonna be okay. And he even said, like, I made peace with the choices I made. And I think that was just beautiful, because they all had these different reasons, but to see them all separately deny the dream because it meant that it was sacrificing something that they didn't want to sacrifice for themselves or for other people, I think was just truly astounding. Like, I love these characters so much. I have to talk about the NPCs, because the NPCs in this one were, much like Fantasy High, amazing. I obviously love Esther. I have a bone to pick with Zach because I love Esther and I have always loved her. And there is one episode, I think it's the second to last, where he says that he's gonna like call Esther's to get there, and he like says her name and he's like, wait, I don't know how to say Esther, and like says it weird. And ever since then I have been doubting how I say Esther every single time, and I'm like, dang Zach, why did you do this to me? But I love Esther and I love her whole journey. Like, she could have been a player herself with her whole thing with her curse, and then just when she finally gets over, I laughed so hard in the episode where her curse is lifted and she's just sobbing about how hot Ricky is and how she wants to hook up with him so bad. I loved her. And then like her friendship with Sophia was so cute too, outside of like Ricky, I think was really cute. And then Alejandro I also really loved, and I thought he had a nice wrap up to his story. You know, it was kind of sad, but I think it was like a peaceful, like, I think someone said it at the end, I can't remember who, I think it was Sophia, but it might have been Rowan, who was basically like, no, it was M. She said something about how like these sacrifices weren't in vain, and I felt like that. Like, it was sad to lose Stephen Sondheim and Santa Claus, but it felt like it wasn't just a blow, like it was necessary, you know? So I appreciated that, and I just, oh gosh, I love this storyline so much. I'm so excited to watch the second season. I'm definitely getting Dropout to watch that. But I just think the whole idea, like Pete, again, Allie killed it. They are such a fantastic player. And I think they're so chaotic that giving them a character that had to do wild magic roles was just absolutely perfect, because you could see how so many times the roles actually enhanced the story and really fit in well with Pete's character, which I think was really, really cool. Lou did a great job playing a character that was so different from his previous one and just absolutely killed it. Ricky is my forever himbo, and I ship him and Esther so much. Siobhan, I'm terrible also saying her name, but as Rowan and Misty, amazing. Like, I just loved her. And then obviously I have to give it up once again to Emily as Sophia Lee. She just commits 110%. I just love when she has like these like just out there moves that are just so intense, and she pulls them out and she knows she can do them, like leaping 200 feet or like cracking Isabella Inferno's jaw so like her teeth fly out or something. Like, I just loved her so much, and it was just so amazing. I truly love these characters because I think they all represent different pieces of who I am, I guess, you know? It feels like they're like such 6 unique characters, but like they really felt like you could relate at points all of them and to their doubts and their fears and their wants, and you know, I think it was just absolutely amazing. So if you haven't watched Unsleeping City, I highly recommend you do. It was just, it's literally like, I can't even describe it. Like, it feels like no other campaign I have watched before, because there's such this just core theme to it about, you know, these aren't perfect people, but they're doing their best, and I think that's just amazing to see. So if you have watched the Unsleeping City, please feel free to leave your favorite parts and your favorite ships and your favorite characters down below in the comments. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!